All right, I know we have a few students we're waiting on, but we're going to go ahead and start since it's 7 o'clock. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. I'm Judy Jordan. I am the principal of the Bridge Transition Program, and I am thrilled that everybody's here. Can y'all hear me okay? Yep, all right. All right, graduates, 2020 and 2021 graduates, it's awesome to see all of you guys here again tonight. It's finally here in person. Can y'all believe that? It's been a long time. Yay! I'd like to thank the distinguished guests we have here from the district. We have cabinet members and the District Board of Education members. So welcome you guys. It's dark, but y'all can still wave. So how did we come to the graduation tonight? Before we start, I really want to thank those that did it. And first of all, we have to thank one young man, Mike Nichols, who used his self-advocacy skills that his teachers, hopefully in Bridge, helped him with, to speak to the school board during an open forum. And thanks to that, our school board president, David Ray, our superintendent, Corey Weiss, and our special support services director, Sid Rundle, worked along with some of the community members, headed by Jen Iverson, to make sure that we could get tonight together and have a wonderful evening. So thank you to everybody who did that. I'd also like to thank the other ladies in the Special Education District Office, as well as my Bridge staff. In particular, I'd like to thank Jill Fitton for helping put together the slideshow again. We combined from the last 2 years, and also to the program secretary, Amy Caldwell, for all her coordination and for the event tonight. So thank you, everybody else. The Bridge Transition Program is for students 18 to 21 to continue working on their post-secondary goals in the areas of independent life skills, education, and employment. To learn more about the program, we've put together a short sneak peek of the program.
'cause it's all for a reason. 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 Winds flow, gardens grow, whole world turns, fires burning.
As you all can see, we do have a lot of fun while a lot of great learning is going on. So graduates, I'm going to talk to you for a little while. I just want you to know how thrilled I am to be here tonight in person for our celebration for your graduation. Those of you who graduated in 2020, we did have a great time driving around to your houses and honking and waving and seeing all your faces. What one student, they even had fireworks in their cul-de-sac when we drove by. 2021 graduates, we had you in person most of the year, but we still had to do a virtual graduation. So for those reasons, I am really extra thankful to be here tonight celebrating you guys. As I was thinking about my speech and what I was going to say tonight, two words kept coming to my mind: resiliency and adaptability. These skills are all part of the 21st century skills, or the Colorado Essential Skills, which they're called now, that you all have been learning for years while you're in the Douglas County schools. I can say that I think that you guys have mastered those skills. No one could have anticipated the pandemic or move into remote learning as quickly as we had to back in March 2020. No, I think it was, yeah. I don't even remember. Those 2 years were such a blur to me. It's just like I think I have them in my mind, but I can't think of all the dates because it was a crazy, crazy time. However, each of you showed your resiliency, adaptability, and your digital literacy skills when this happened. You all put a smile on your face and you kept going forward. Some of you haven't even seen your classmates since March 12th of 2020 when we left for spring break, and we thought we were just going to be out of school for 2 weeks. Never did we dream it was going to be for the whole rest of that school year. That's another reason we're so excited for y'all being here tonight, seeing your friends. Remote learning was new for everyone, for students, for teachers, for administrators, and for parents. I think parents learned a lot those days that we were in remote learning. The 2021 graduates continued to show their perseverance when school started back in August 2020. We were lucky to be in person a couple times a week during the first quarter. Then we were able to move into 4 days a week, then to the whole week. However, with all those different changes that happened, you guys just kept on going, just kept on going. Your resiliency was unbelievable. The Bridge program's main goals are to teach independence and prepare young adults for life after Bridge. Looking out at each of you now, I truly believe we have fulfilled our goals. I see young adults sitting before me who are successful within their day programs. They're working part-time, they're working full-times, they're more independent at home and in the community. A few even drove themselves to the program tonight because they have the driver's license now. Some of the different jobs that I know you all are out there working at are at King Soopers. Some are at Walmart. Some are even at the Bridge program. I hired one of our graduates from last year. We have some working at the Community Rec Center. Some of you, because of the pandemic, are just now really getting out there to look for your jobs because with the pandemic, you weren't able to go out there and work at that time. Whatever you're doing now, my heart is full of joy with the success that I see from each of you. Life is a journey, and the path of life looks different for everyone. You each will follow your own individual path. As you go forward, remember paths go in a lot of different directions. They twist and they turn when you least expect. I know with the resiliency and the adaptability you have all shown over the past year and a half will assist you on your own path to greatness. Graduates, continue moving forward and know everyone at the Bridge program is proud of each of you. Before I close, I would also like to thank all the parents and families, the Bridge staff, and the Douglas County community for the support that you provide the Bridge students. From providing job sites, attending fundraisers, and advocating for the students, they are successful because of you. So thank you. I talked about the community and doing some volunteer work at the community. We have a quick little video here of one of our students at work at his work site.
Contributions they've made to our program. Sean's been here every week, and he's really helping the team with everything for polling and getting us organized in the warehouse, and we really appreciate the efforts and everything they contribute.
Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind.
So that was a young man who went to the task force every week. And luckily, even through the pandemic, because he wasn't around other people, he was still able to go and to work out all during the year. Next, I would like to invite the Douglas County School Board President, David Ray, to say a few words.
Well, good evening, Bridge graduates. Oh my gosh, how incredible is it to see all of you here in person? You know, when I thought about what to say to all of you, I went right away to my favorite book. Do you guys like to read? Yep. I have some favorite books, and Director Lung's going to come up here and assist me because I only have two hands, but I would like to read you a story that I thought about when I thought about you guys. Because just like Mrs. Jordan said, resiliency is your middle name. Thank you, Director Lung. So when I thought about you guys, I thought about one of my favorite characters, Horton the elephant. And I don't know if you are too old for Dr. Seuss books. I'm never too old for a Dr. Seuss book. But let me tell you about Horton the elephant who hatches an egg. Sighed Maisie, a lazy bird, hatching an egg. I'm tired and I'm bored and I've got kinks in my leg from just sitting here day after day. It's work. How I hate it. I'd much rather play. I'd take a vacation, fly off for a rest. If I could find someone to sit on my nest. If I could find someone, I'd fly away free. I know I have Dr. Kirshner in the audience, so she's going to evaluate me for my book handling technique, so I'm going to try to be good about that. All right. Then Horton the elephant passed by her tree. "Hello," called the lazy bird, smiling her best. "You've nothing to do, and I do need a rest. Would you like to come sit on my egg in my nest?" The elephant laughed. "Why, of all silly things, I haven't feathers, and I haven't eggs or wings. Me on your egg? Why, that doesn't make sense. Your egg is so small, ma'am, and I'm so immense." "Tut, tut," answered Maisie. "I know you're not small, but I know you can do it, no trouble at all. Just sit on it softly, you're gentle and kind. Come on, be a good fellow, I know you won't mind." "I can't," said the elephant. "Please," begged the bird. "I will be gone long, sir. I'll give you my word. I'll hurry right back, but I'll never be missed." There's Horton. "Very well," said the elephant, "since you insist. You want a vacation, go fly off and take it. I'll sit on your egg and I'll try not to break it. I'll stay and be faithful. I mean what I say." "Toodaloo," sang out Maisie, and she fluttered away. The first thing to do," murmured Horton. "Let's see. The first thing to do is to prop up this tree and make it much stronger. That has to be done. Before I get on it, I must weigh a ton." Then carefully, tenderly, gently he crept up the trunk to the nest where the egg slept. Then Horton the elephant smiled. "Now that's that." And he sat, and he sat, and he sat, and he sat. And he sat all that day, and he kept the egg warm, and he sat all that night through a terrible storm. It poured and it lightened, it thundered, it rumbled. "This isn't much fun," the poor elephant grumbled. "I wish I'd come back 'cause I'm cold and I'm wet. I hope that Maisie bird did not forget." But Maisie, by this time, was far beyond reach, enjoying the sunshine way off at Palm Beach. And having such fun, such a wonderful rest, decided she'd never go back to her nest. So Horton kept sitting there day after day, and soon it was autumn. The leaves blew away. And then came the winter, the snow and the sleet, and icicles hung from his trunk and his feet. But Horton kept sitting and said with a sneeze, "I'll stay on this egg and I won't let it freeze. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's word is 100%. So poor Horton sat there the whole winter through, and then came the springtime with troubles anew. His friends gathered round and they shouted with glee, "Look, Horton the elephant's up in a tree." They taunted, they teased him, they yelled, "How absurd! Old Horton the elephant thinks he's a bird." They laughed and they laughed, then they all ran away, and Horton was lonely. He wanted to play, but he sat on the egg and continued to say, "I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. No matter what happens, this egg must be tended." But poor Horton's troubles were far, far from ended. For while Horton sat there so faithful, so kind, the hunters came sneaking up softly behind. He heard the men's footsteps. He turned with a start. 3 rifles were aiming right at his heart. Did he run? He did not. Horton stayed on that nest. He held his head high and he threw out his chest and he looked at the hunters as much as to say, "Shoot if you must, but I won't run away. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. But the men didn't shoot. Much to Horton's surprise, they dropped their guns and they stared with wide eyes. "Look," they all shouted, "can such a thing be? An elephant sitting up on a tree. It's strange, it's amazing, it's wonderful new. Don't shoot him, we'll catch him. That's just what we'll do. Let's take him alive while he's terribly funny. We'll sell him back home to a circus for money." And the first thing he knew, they had built a big wagon with ropes on the front for the pullers to drag on. They dug up his tree and they put it inside, with Horton so sad that he practically cried. "We're off," the men shouted, and off they all went, with Horton unhappy 100%. Up out of the jungle, up into the sky, up over the mountains 10,000 feet high, then down the mountains and down to the sea went the cart with the elephant, egg, nest, and tree. Then out of the wagon and onto a ship and over the ocean, and oh, what a trip, rolling and tossing and splashed with the spray. And Horton said day after day after day, "I meant what I said. I said what I meant. But oh, I am seasick 100%. After bobbing around for 2 weeks like a cork, they landed at last in the town of New York. "All ashore," the men shouted, and down with a lurch went Horton the elephant, still on his perch, tied onto a board that could just scarcely hold him. Bump! Horton landed, and then the men sold him. Sold to a circus, then week after week, they showed him to people at 10 cents a peek. They took him to Boston, to Kalamazoo, Chicago, Weehawken, and Washington too, to Dayton, Ohio, St. Paul, Minnesota, to Wichita, Kansas, to Drake, North Dakota. And everywhere, thousands of folks flocked to see and laugh at the elephant up in a tree. Poor Horton grew sadder the farther he went, but he said as he sat in that hot, noisy tent, you guys know it? "I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Then one day, the circus happened to reach a town way down south, not far from Palm Beach. And dawdling along way up in the sky, who of all people should chance to fly by but that good-for-nothing bird, runaway Maisie, still on vacation and still just as lazy. And spying the flags in the tents just below, she sang out, "What fun! Well, I'll go to that show." And she swooped down from the clouds through an open tent door. "Good gracious," gasped Maisie, "I've seen you before." Poor Horton looked up with his face white as chalk. He started to speak, but before he could talk, there rang out the noisiest, ear-splitting squeaks from the egg that he'd sat on for 51 weeks. A thumping, a bumping, a wild, alive scratching. "My egg," shouted Horton. "My egg. Why, it's hatching." "But it's mine," screamed the bird when she heard the egg crack. The work was all done, now she wanted it back. "It's my egg," she sputtered. "You stole it from me. Get off my nest and get out of my tree." Poor Horton backed down with a sad, heavy heart. But at that very instant, the egg burst apart. And out of the pieces of red and white shell from the egg that he'd sat on so long and so well, Horton the elephant saw something whiz. It had ears and a tail and a trunk, just like his. And the people came shouting, "What's all this about?" They looked and they stared with their eyes popping out. They cheered and they cheered and they cheered more and more. They'd never seen anything like it before. "My goodness, my gracious," they shouted, "my word, it's something brand new. It's an elephant bird." And it should be like that. Because Horton was faithful. He sat and he said. He meant what he said. And he said what he meant. And they sent him home happy 100%. So now, do you see, when you think about Horton, I thought about you guys. When I think about all that you've experienced, all the challenges you have gone through for the last 2 years, to get to the spot to come back in person, you guys are my Horton. You are the ones that have conquered challenges, you have persevered, you don't let things get in your way. I know that Mrs. Jordan talked about my friend Michael here, who reached out to me and said, "We need to do this in person, Mr. Ray." Then he came to our board meeting, he went to Mrs. Jordan. You're one of these Hortons, my friend, because you persevered. You saw a challenge, and you wanted to do what was right for all your peers. I couldn't be more proud of you, Michael. And so on behalf of the Board of Education, just want to say that we are so proud of all of you and looking forward to hearing great things continue in your lives as you continue to journey. So congratulations, Bridge graduates.
Thank you, Director Ray. All right, it's time to introduce the 2020 graduates. Could I have Director Ray, Director Lung, Corey Weiss, Sid Rundle, Sarah Cannon, and Nicole Amadon to come up to the stage, and then the bridge teachers also to come up to the stage. Oh. We have a video first, so let's watch the video from the stage, and everybody else can watch it from their seats.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes a sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
right, graduates, y'all want to line up? So as you come across, you can shake hands, and then your teacher will give you your card. Come on, Andy, Alex, y'all line up on the wall. We typically come in practice, so they're doing a great job here. All right, we're going to call all the graduates' names. Some people couldn't be here tonight, but we're still going to call them so I can recognize all of them. And as I call your name, come on up and come across the stage. So Dakota Allen. Kiana Ariano. Megan Bailey. We knew who her teacher was. Katie Brown. Kat Carey. Kyle Cargo. Congratulations, Kyle. Hannah Hall. Hannah's online because she moved out of state, so she's online. Allison Halula. Catherine Helton. Alex Kirschner. Andy Kirschner. Alyssa Kuntz. Jonathan Murphy. Mike Nichols. Tanner Olson. Elijah Palmer. Sean Peralta. Charlie Pinkerton. Mr. Broncos fan. All right, good job. Lindsay Range. Peter Rossell. Cheyenne Toon. And Jeremy Vasquez. Jeremy always wanted me to put polka dots in the classroom. It's a lot of hands to shake. All right, congratulations, 2020 graduates. Thank you, guests. Thank you. Y'all can go sit down. I'll call y'all back up in a minute. Now I'd like to introduce our next speaker. While he's fairly new to his role in the district, he has been a huge, huge, huge advocate for the Bridge program. May I introduce Sid Rundle, Director of Student Support Services.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. I appreciate that. What an absolute honor. What an absolute pleasure to be here tonight. I am so delighted that we were able to pull this off, that you guys were able to pull this off. And so thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming back. I too, had planned on reading you a book. It's the dictionary. It's going to take a little while. But since President Ray already did that, I'll just keep my remarks to a few short ones. Guys, I was thinking about the name of your program, the name of the program that we're here to celebrate because you were a part of it, and that is the Bridge program, right? And it got me thinking about bridges, right? What are bridges for? Why did this program get called Bridge Transition Program? Well, obviously bridges are to cross from one side to another. That's what they do. That's their function. And that's what you guys obviously have done. That's what we're celebrating. The bridge that has gotten you to this moment, to this place. The bridge from school when you were a child into teenage years, then into high school, then into the Bridge program, and now to where you are as adults. But I was also thinking about a couple other, of the uses of bridge. And I realized bridges are also good for getting us over something, right? To getting us over something that might be in our way or might be a problem or might be troublesome, right? I think of the song by Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Waters, right? That's how you get across a rapid stream, a river, or a canyon, or even a highway. And I was thinking that sometimes those things that we have to get over are actually things that are inside of ourselves. I remember as a young kid when I would be whining and complaining and grumping, my older sister would say to me, "Brother, you need to build a bridge and get over it," right? To tell me to snap out of it, suck it up, get over it. My sister was right most of the time. But it also made me think of the little story I like to tell about these two workers. They happened to be construction workers, and they went and they sat down together to have their lunch, and they opened their lunch pails together, and the one construction worker pulled out his sandwich and unwrapped it and just let out a huge sigh. He threw his sandwich back into his lunch pail, and he said, "Bologna sandwich. I hate bologna sandwiches." And the guy sitting next to him said, "Whoa, I mean, if you dislike bologna sandwiches so much, why don't you let your wife know that you don't like bologna sandwiches and she'll make you something different?" And he said, "My wife doesn't make my lunch. I make my own lunch. I pack bologna sandwiches every day." And sometimes I can relate to that, right? Bologna sandwiches. Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. We keep doing things that we don't want to be doing. We keep doing things we don't like. And at some point, we build a bridge.